just in answer. Both the subjects I'm going to handling here for you people, which is relevant to the entire syllabus. If you observe the syllabus, you come to know that now there are multiple subjects will be clubbed into together. You know that production and material management, right? So before it was like now production and operation management. Then material management is been added here. Material management ಕೂಡ add up ಆಗಿದೆ. Before ಏನಿದೆ production management and even the operation management ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು concept, right? So now it is changed into like now production and material management. I think if you observe that now this subject have been studied in the BBA course and even MBA course, and even like now I can say that BE who studied the BE course like BE mechanical who studied that. So those people also, those students who also studied the same subject, production and operation management or production and material management, right? It's a management oriented subject. You can say that it's also called as it's a branch of management, and right? Production and material management, it's a branch of management only. So that is only, you can see that the management which you can say that branch of management only, right? You say that what exactly the production and operation management, or you can say that the material management, right? Production management andre enu. So before that, what exactly the production, right? So to produce the products and services, right, we should have a plant. That is also called as a factory or unit. That is only written here, right? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ we require plant establishment or factory establishment, also called as unit establishment, right? For that we need to supply the raw material or input from the external environments, right? When you supply the raw material or input for the external environment to the plant, we say that factory outlet, right? So thereby the process of converting the raw material into product will be taken place in the factory. You can say that plant. So that is only when the process of raw material, converting the raw material into the output or productions, you can call it as a product. You can call it as later product. Product ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ process ಅನ್ನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, raw material ಮತ್ತೆ raw material output ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ entire process ಏನಿದೆ, it will be called as production. So ultimately we need a output, right? That is only production, right? And once we having the products, so you are going to be transported through the various media or the systems called as transportation media, whatever the media, right, in our plant to the warehouse called as godown. Godown ಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, supply ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Nothing but the movement of products from the plant to the warehouse for a storage purpose, right? Because of to meet the demand of the customers in the market. When the demand arises, right? Now ಯಾಕೆ warehouse ಅನ್ನು establish ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ because of without warehouse we cannot able to now store the products and services ಅನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ goods and services ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. That is the reason we are having a godown or warehouse in the factory outlet, right? So thereby we are going to be storing the raw material and even the semi finished goods and even the finally finished goods. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. That is only called as warehouse or godown, right? So that is the concept of converting the raw material. It's the process of converting the raw material or input from the production plant to the output. That is a product. So ultimately you are going to receiving the output. That is called a product only, right? So the operation management, we can say that operation management it is like a field of study focus on, right, planning, scheduling of the time, use and control of the manufacturing organization. You can say that to produce this ultimate product, right, we should be having a particular plan. you should be having a schedule. Schedule, you can say that at what time you need to produce the products and services and what time you need to deliver the product to the ultimate consumer, right? And the use and control of entire the manufacturing of the organizations, right? Organization, you can say that it's a plant or factory, right? Whatever the product you are going to be producing in a planned way, in a scheduled time, and so in a, you can say that the control, ultimately you need to control entire the manufacturing systems, the manufacturing production systems, that will be called as operation management, right? Very small differences. In other production management, it's like, as I said, that it's simply process of converting the raw material to the output. So it's a, you can say that when it comes to operation management, it's like in a systematic way you are going to planning and scheduling the time, which time you need to produce when the demand arises in the marketplace. That is the reason, right? So ultimately we should have a full or entire control of the production systems in the organizations. That will be called as operation management, right? When it comes to material management, here material management is the system here. Nothing but how we are going to handle the raw material, semi-finished goods, and even the finished goods, right? When it comes to the production, when it comes to the storage or warehouse, in a very efficient way and at minimum cost. Even also at a production also, we should produce the goods and services at a minimum cost only, because we need to avoid a multiple cost to increase the profit of the organization. That is the reason, right? Do you understand what exactly the productions, operation, and material management is? Simple differences, right? And they said that material, you can say that carefully you are going to handling the material from the plant, you can say the factory to the warehouse, while moving the products and services from the plant or factory to the warehouse. Maybe it may be like a products, semi-finished goods, or whatever the raw material, right? That is the material management in a systematic way. That is only the small differences. So why I given this, like you can say that I should have a basic idea about the what is the productions, what is the operations, what is the material. Material is simply say that raw material, right? Sometime you are going to receiving the raw material from the various sources from the external environment of the earth. It simply, you can say that you are going to receiving the raw material from the various vendor, various supplier to your warehouse. Here also, raw material direct now plant of the factory you are going to be taken into the storage warehouse. Thereby, whenever the demand arises, whenever the requirement comes to the factory or the plant, you are going to receiving those raw material from the warehouse or the godown to produce the products and services, right? That is the reason, right? So you have a small differences here. Came to know what exactly the things, right? Production and material and operation and if you observe the syllabus, the fundamental of production from the management point of view, fundamental of the production from the management point of view. That is only I said here, right? Fundamental nothing but what exactly? There's the basic introductions, right? Production and operation and material management and that is fundamental concept, right? When it comes to the types of manufacturing system, after fundamental concept, if you observe the syllabus, right? Types of manufacturing, also called as production system, right? Thereby you can observe there are two types of manufacturing systems. Syllabus you can observe that is continuous or repetitive and intermittent, right? Continuous, repetitive, and intermittent. I'll tell you what exactly the things are there. Continuous nothing but when there is no demand in the market, when there is no demand arises from the customer also, you are going to continuously producing the product and services in your plant or the factory, right? That is continuous. Repetitively you are going to producing. When the demand arises or not, but the production process will be continuously is going on. Intermittent, nothing but whenever the order received from your customer, and then only you are going to produce frequently. You can say that. ಯಾವಾಗ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, then you are going to supply to your customer. Whenever the order received from your customer, then you are going to starting the production process. That is intermittent production system or manufacturing system. ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಏನೋ sub you can say that classifications ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. You can say that continuous and even intermittent ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ. Continuous ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನೀವು ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. If you observe that mass production, process production and assembly line production ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, right? You can say that mass production, process production and assembly line production ಅಂತೀವಿ. assembly line production ಅಂತ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, right? When it comes to the chapter discussion, I will what exactly I will tell you that what is mass production, process, assembly, everything. If you observe the question paper, thereby one questions asked in the previous year examinations based on intermittent production system. Intermittent production system alone questions are raise ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. What exactly the questions also now I would like to discuss that later. ಏನ್ questions ಅದು ರೈಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, right? And even in a production system synthetic and analytic production ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ in the process ಅಲ್ಲಿ we are going to study synthetic analytical ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, right? What exactly things ಅದು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ when comes to the chapter discussion, right? And when it comes to intermittent production, thereby we are going to study that that is also classified project, job shop and even what exactly that project ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. even job shop and batch production ಈ ತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, right? project, production and even job shop, right? ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಇನ್ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ್ಲೇ ನಾವು ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇನ್ನರ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಅಂತ, ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ದೇರ್ ವೈ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ಸ್ 2020 ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ intermittent ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, right? Sometimes they will ask you that what exactly the example for intermittent production process ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಲೈನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್, ಜಾಬ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ 3 marks ಈ ತರ ಕೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ, right? So that is the reason. And secondly, after that types of production process, organizing for production ಅಂತೀವಿ. organizing for production, ಏನ್ organizing for production ಅಂದ್ರೆ we can say that simply you are going to organize the entire organizing for production, right? To taking place the production activity, right? So whatever the facilities required, you are going to be organizing there for the plant or production process, that including from raw material, including from equipments to take out the production process and the systems required and even other things, other resources, we can say that, right? raw material irbodu, equipment and machineries irbodu, other requirement resources ಏನಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. we are going to facilitating, right, for taking out the production process in the plant or factory. That is about organizing for production ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, right? In the organizing for production only, you may observe that that is given long range forecast and aggregate production planning. Long range forecast and aggregate. What exactly the long range anta? Long range ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, any idea? Long range and forecast, aggregate production planning. Here they given production planning. Production planning. What is planning first of all? Then you'll come to know what exactly the things. Nothing but for a future period, how much product required to produce depends on the consumer requirements. That is right. So ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Right. So depends on the consumer requirements or customer requirement, you're going to produce the products. That is production planning. Right. So that is only the given long range forecast and aggregate. Long range. Right. Maybe for more than 10 years. Long range. You are going to be by considering more than 10 years. So by now only you are going to produce starting the production process. Then you are going to storing those products into your warehouses. And forecast, that is also you can say that simply you are going to estimating that maybe in coming days you are going to receiving a multiple order from the customer. So that is the reason you are going to starting up your production process. Forecasting, you are going to estimating that maybe 100 quantity, maybe 200 quantity you are going to receiving in the coming days. So based on that you are going to producing forecasting, right? And aggregate, nothing but simply generally you are going to produce it without any forecast, without any planning. Aggregate, right? In a daily production activity you are going to taking place the entire production process on aggregate basis, on an average basis, right? For example, in a day 100 product are need to produce, so aggregately at averagely you are going to producing 100 products every day. That is aggregate production process will be taken place in your plant or factory. Is it? So that is about production planning. Production planning. When it comes to plant design and one of the concept in our syllabus. Plant design. We observe the syllabus. Plant design. What exactly the plant design? Design means what? Plant nothing but a factory where the production process is going to be happening. Design means where you are going to establish, right? And what kind of equipment you need to install. So what are the facilities should be facilitated to produce the product and services in your factory or output, called as plant design. You are going to designing present, right? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಾ, ಸೊ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈನಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್. ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈನ್. ನೀವು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಡಿಸೈನಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್, ಡಿಸೈನಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಔಟ್ಲೆಟ್, ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಡ್, ಯಾವ ತರ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು based on the requirements of your own and your based on the customer requirements sometimes. That is about plant design. Is it? And even where you are going to set up the operations of the firms, that is called as thereby in the plant design there are multiple concepts you are going to study here. Plant layout one of the concept if you observe the syllabus, right? And plant location kuda one of the concept. Plant location, what exactly the plant location? As I said that andre ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಯಾವ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, where you are going to establish, where you are going to start up your factory plant, right? So ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ in this plant locations there are factors to be considered before you need to if you go for establishment of your factory. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ which factors we need to consider before establishment of our factory or places. For example, I want to establish my factory or plant in a rural area, or want to establish my factory or plant in a urban area, semi urban area. So only before establishment, before starting your startup of your factory or outlet or plant, which factors need to be considered illi now we study madbekagutte. That is only plant locations where you need to establish And so thereby definitely you are interested to establish in a rural area, which factors should be considered. That is about, right? Plant locations and plant layout. Very simple. You can say that in a plant location also, there are models you are going to study it, and location theory ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Location theory. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಲೇಔಟ್, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ದೇ ವೋಂಟ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ರೈಟ್? ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಥಿಯರೀಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ಯಾರು, ಆಲ್ಫ್ರೆಡ್ ವೆಬರ್. Plant location theory also called as Alfred Weber theory. It's one of the important concept here. Plant location theory. Plant location theory also called as Alfred Weber, one of the economists. Alfred Weber. So in your examination may ask you like this, who given plant location theory? Alfred Weber. So direct questions, right? Maybe chances to ask you. And when it comes to plant layout, what exactly is plant layout? Plant layout ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, simply we can say that allocation of the space or arranging the space and the equipments and the machinery to carry out the production activity in the factory, right? And the layout andre ಏನು, it's like you can say that facilitating or arranging to carry out entire production activity in the plant. Arranging ಯಾವ production product ಅನ್ನು produce ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, you can say that ಯಾವ್ದು product ನ produce ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, right? Any X product, so you need to install equipments and machineries for that and other resources. You are going to arrange it. Raw materials irbodu, land, what are the resources required for that, any space, right? That is layout. Arranging, facilitating, right? So allu kuda ashtene, there are factors to be considered while arranging or facilitating the plant layout, and the types of plant layout, that is also we are going to study it here. When it comes to plant designing, the entire plant design is one of the module anta consider ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Plant design ಕೂಡ one of the module here. Thereby plant location, plant layout, other things we are going to study here. And you can say that plant size and scale of operation, plant size and the scale of operation in your syllabus is given. Plant size and scale of operation also called as space requirement. Yeah. Plant. What exactly that? Plant size. Nothing but a scale of operation. Scale of operations. Andre, what exactly the scale of operation? It depends on the production activity, depends on the length, depends on the width. Right, whatever the things you are going to be establishing your factory, the plant size, a scale of operation, right? We can say that if we are having a proper land for the establishment of the factory or plant, you can say that it depends on ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೈಜ್ ಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮಿಷನರೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಟು ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ವೇರ್ ಹೌಸ್, ಆರ್ you can say that other systems required to start up the production activity in the factory, right? It depends on size irbodu, length, and you can say that entire description of the width. ಯಾವ width ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಅನ್ನು ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it depends on the operation activity, production activity taking place. You are going to designing your plant size, width and length, the space available for it. That is also you are going to study here. And ಇಲ್ಲಿ as I said that arrangement of the physical facilities, idu kuda one of the concept here. Arrangement of the physical facility on plant size and scale of operation. In arrangement of the physical facilities and arrangement of physical facility, physical Physical, we can say that. We can say that what exactly the machineries, equipments, right? Lighting systems, right? Everything. And first of all, we need to establish a building, a factory thereby. And after that, lighting you're going to creating and ventilation systems you're going to adopt on the wall itself, and AC and other noise control systems, sanitation facilities, entire systems which is required to carry out the production activities in the factory. So that is only you're going to arranging entire physical facility. ಇದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ each and individual things you're going to study here. Lightings ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರಬೇಕು, factors to be considered, and ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ವೆಂಟಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಂಡ್ ಇವನ್ ಫಾರ್ AC ಏರ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನಿಂಗ್, ನಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅಂಡ್ ಇವನ್ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೇಷನ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೇಬರ್, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಅಂಡ್ ಇವನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, equipment replacement and maintenance. Equipment replacement and maintenance. What exactly the equipment maintenance and replacement? ಯಾವಾಗ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ರೀಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, they were asked here, right? When the situation, right, the equipments replacements, or you can say that equipment maintenance will be arises. ಯಾವಾಗ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ maybe you can say that equipment maintenance, nothing but we can say that it's a repair and maintenance, right? Repair and maintenance. ಯಾವಾಗ repair and maintenance ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ whenever ಯಾವಾಗ repair and maintenance ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, whenever the cost of the equipments or the machinery which is less than, right? So then the repair and maintenance ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ರೀಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿಷನರಿ ಗಿಂತ, ಸಾರಿ, ರಿಪೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಗಿಂತ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿಷನರಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಸಾರಿ, ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿಷನರಿ ಗಿಂತ ರಿಪೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೀಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಮಿಷನರೀಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಿಷನರಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇಕ್ವಿಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ರೀಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ in the system. And repair and maintenance ಯಾವ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, whenever the cost is less than the machinery, ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಬರೀ ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸರಿ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ರಿಪೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೀಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ when comes to plant, right? That is about. And next concept is that functions of production planning and control routing ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. If you observe the syllabus, you can say that production planning and control. So entire module will be studied in this concept, production planning, functions of production planning and control routing. What exactly the production planning and control? Production planning and control. Production planning and ಏನು? As I said that need to be plan for a future period. Accordingly, you're going to start your production activity. And control, nothing but you need to have a control of the entire system, the production activities in the organizations, right? In a proper way. Nothing but we can say that it decides resources the firms require for a future manufacturing operations at a very minimum cost. Very minimum cost ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು entire production activities start ಮಾಡಿ, then you are going to taking entire systems control, because you need to control the manufacturing cost, the inventory cost, and even the maintenance of the system, machinery cost, everything will be. That is the reason. So production planning and control, it should be required ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ production planning and control, you are going to study a multiple concept in this scenario. You can say that PPC, production planning and control, functions of production planning. ಯಾವ ತರ functions of production planning ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, you can say that they are given in the syllabus. ಯಾವ ತರ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಅದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್, ರೂಟಿಂಗ್, ಲೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲಿಂಗ್, ರೈಟ್? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿದೆ ಇದೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ, ರೈಟ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್, right? In a production planning, there is a separate functions called as estimating, routing, estimating, then routing, right? Set. Third one, you can say that scheduling and loading, scheduling and loading, scheduling and loading. When it comes to chapter, we can discuss entire what exactly the estimating, routing, scheduling and loading. ಇಲ್ಲಿ separately ನಾವು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ, ದೇ ಗಿವನ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್, ರೂಟಿಂಗ್, ಲೋಡಿಂಗ್, ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್, ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಪರೇಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್, dispatching, right? Expediting. There are multiple functions will be carried out here. Say that, right? Inspection and evaluating of the materials. Inspection of machines, production, and even evaluation of the product. Right? They are going to classify the entire production planning and control into subsystems called as production planning and production control. Here, estimating, routing, scheduling and loading. There are also dispatching, expediting, and inspection and evaluation. When it comes to module, we discuss what exactly that inspection and dispatch and even the evaluations about the material. Right? So, even the concepts are study martivi. And even next, they given assembly line balancing and machine line balancing. Assembly line and machine line. It was also repeated in a, you can say that, types of production management. Types of production systems are repeat agide. That is the assembly line balancing and machine line balancing. And we are going to balance the entire product in assembly line balancing. You can say that straight line balancing at the LTV, and also you can say that machine line balancing. Right, Andre? It's a line production activity. If you observe any manufacturing plants and visit madidre, you'll come to know that assembly line yav tar irutte, and even the machine line how it works ante. Right? Adu kuda illi maybe are going to be studied here. ಏನು assembly line andre and even the machine line ante ಹೇಳಿ. Right? That is about entire concept on production and operations. Right? Production ಮತ್ತೆ operation ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು till now what exactly we are going to observe here. And coming the points, what exactly you can say that the material management, role and importance of the material management. Right? That is about the module of material. Material ಅಂದ್ರೆ material management ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಾವು ಏನು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ, that is production and operation management only. Now we are going to be dealing with the material management. As I said that, what exactly the material management? Then materials andra, any idea about that? Simply raw material, right? So we are going to handle material management in your plant when it comes to production process, when it comes to storage process. That is only, right? So material management role and importance of the that is mainly you can say that prelims concept al barodilla. Role and importance, or maybe you can say that directly although mains concept alli helbodu. But they may ask you like yautara what is material management, right? The objectives of material management and even the importance, sometimes called as functions, process. Idu kuda kelbodu, right? Functions of material management, right? Alli functions of material management andaga we can say that one of the functions purchasing cycle. Idu kuda one of the process, purchasing cycle. We can say that the process involved in purchasing the raw material from the various vendors, right? So material management first it starts from the purchasing cycle. Purchasing cycle, then purchasing methods, everything will be known in a material management, right? So once you purchase the material, how you are going to handling in the production process, that is about material handling. Here also there is a concept, principles followed in material management. Idu kuda navu study marthivi, principles followed here, right? When it comes to material handling, which are the principles you want to be studied? The multiple principles here given in the syllabus, right? So adu kuda we'll study ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತೀರಿ. And even the types of material handling, types of material handling, there are concept here, types of material handling, material handlings. But in syllabus ಅಲ್ಲಿ observe ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it's simply given only material handling ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. But when it comes to the entire syllabus, the entire chapter discussions, we are going to be studied here what exactly that types of material handling and even the principles of handling the materials. Adu kuda important. Sometimes they will ask you about the principles, sometimes they will ask you about the types of material handling, right? Adu kuda keladakke chances irbodu. That is the reason. And the next concept is given here, what exactly that? Value analysis. Value analysis. What exactly the value analysis? Value analysis andre ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ you can say that in a simple way. You're going to analyze the material value, right? Material value when it comes to production. Nothing but you're going to analyze the price of material before productions and after production, right? Before production and after production, value analysis, right? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚಿತವಾಗಲೇ ಏನು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಎ ವರ್ತ್, ರೈಟ್? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರೈಟ್. ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ಯು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. Quality control ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ one of the concept here. What exactly the quality control? Nothing but you are going to checking and verification of the material, right? In the process of the degree of excellence of something relevant to the products. And then you are going to checking the value, checking the quality or attributes, characteristics, everything, right? Quality control, what exactly that? Quality control is one of the main functions in production management. When it comes to yavaga material dispatch agutte from the production house to the warehouse, they are going to the quality manager, they are going to verify that, they are going to analyze that whether the quality is perfectly matching as per the standards given in the production house, right? Production standards ಏನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ they are going to check, verify it, evaluating that, right? So as per the, if you observe that there is a questions you may expect about the ISO, International Standard of Organizations, right? ISO 9000. What exactly the ISO 9000 relevant to the quality? So one of the agency, right, that will be not determined the production product in quality say the determine ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ISO as per the standards given by the ISO organization 9000 certifications. They need to be verified, need to analyze that the quality has been produced or not, quality of the product will be produced in the plant or not, right? There are multiple certifications will be provided by the ISO organizations. So maybe it's one of the concept ISO 9000 certifications who will be given by the, who is going to give one, that is called as International Standard Organization. So every manufacturing plant, every factory, they have to follow these ISO standards because to cross check the quality or attributes or characteristics which they have produced in the factory itself, right? According to quality standards ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. That is the reasons. So as per the standards given by the ISO organizations, they have to check, cross verify their product qualities. Is it? That is about maybe ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು in a quality control. Quality control. And waste and scrap disposal. Waste and scrap disposal. ಇದು ಕೂಡ one of the concept here. Waste and scrap disposal. ಏನು waste and scrap disposal ಅಂದ್ರೆ what exactly the waste? Waste and scrap. Any differences? Waste ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, scrap ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Is there any value differences here? Any idea? Waste ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, scrap ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಹಾ Okay. The waste where it will be occurred and scrap where it will be occurred in the plant. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಪಸ್ ನಾವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Say that in a production process, right? Waste nothing but in the case of raw material only you may waste the material. Materials ಅನ್ನು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು sometimes. The raw materials ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಗೋಡನ್ ಇಂದ ವೇರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಇಂದ ನೀವು when you bring into the production house, here also there is a chances to waste the raw material while carrying, moving from warehouse to the production plant. And scrap means once you produce an item, produce a product, right? It is having a diminishing value, nothing but a zero value, right? Scrap, zero value, nothing but is the least value. But waste means you are going to unnecessary, you are going to wasting the resources. It is having a value, but you are going to wasting without knowing, or maybe knowingly you are going to wasting the resources when converting or maybe moving the resources to one place to another places, right? That is only, right? Waste and scrap. And even other concept we can say that what exactly that make or buy decision. Make or buy decision andre when you are going to make nothing but a produce, buy nothing but a when you are going to taking the decisions on producing and buying nothing but a raw material or what are the products. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮೇಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್? ಮೇಕ್ ಆರ್ ಬೈ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ if the value of the item right is more than nothing but a say marginal cost ಗಿಂತ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, value of the item is more than the marginal cost, you are going to be what exactly that? Produce it. Or value of the item less than the marginal cost, you are going to buy it from the other sources sometimes. So in another cases you are going to buy the components to making an assembly. For example, Toyota plants, they were not producing entire items, entire Toyota car. They are going to be borrowing or purchasing the entire parts or equipments from the various vendors. Then they are going to take in place the entire assembly process in the Toyota plants, right? So when it comes to the value decisions, buy or make decisions will be relevant to the marginal cost, or we can say that value decision ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಅದು ಕೂಡ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇವನ್ ಕೋಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್. ವಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ದಟ್? ಕೋಫಿಡಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೌದಲ್ಲ? ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಇಟ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಕೋಫಿಡಿಕೇಶನ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕೋಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಕೋಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾದ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ ಇದು? ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಟು ಅಲಾಟ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ or code or number to every item to facilitate easy location and handling of the material, right? Really allot a number, modification, not a codification, like codification. Nothing but after producing a material, you are going to allot a number 1, 2, 3 or serial number, you can say that alphabetical number A, B, C, D, or it depends on, because of in your plant you are going to producing a large number of items in a daily manner, right? That is the reason to easily identify the products and handling the material, right? We are going to giving a code, a particular code or number, that is called as codifications. So after production also, sometimes before production for the raw material, right? So the process is called as giving or allotting a number, that is called as codifications for a material. So adu kuda neevu maybe meanings and expect ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. That is not important concept here. And here when it comes to next concept, standardization and spare parts inventory. Standardization and spare parts inventory. What exactly the standardization? Standardization ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Standardization and spare parts inventory. Nothing but a spare parts. What exactly spare parts? Spare parts inventory. A small tiny part called as spare parts, right? For example, a spare parts for a car, two-wheeler vehicle, you know that small parts irutte, right? When it comes to assembly, spare parts inventory, nothing but so you can say that it's a components, right? Standardization, nothing but you're going to produce a product at standard level, standardizations. You're going to increasing the value standard of the products, right? So that is also one of the concept here, standardization and spare parts inventory. And here there is a concept inventory control. As I said that inventory control ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು, we observe the next concept here, inventory control, that is given ABC analysis, EOQ, economic order quantity, reorder point, safety work, two-bin systems, everything. Here the inventory control is the systems you are going to acquiring are required to give a provisions quantity of inventory at the right quality and right time with a proper amount of investment. Nothing but we can say that you are going to manage the inventory, or you are controlling the entire the inventory of the systems, of production systems, with a right time, right delivery, right time of productions, right cost, right? That is only, and you are going to control in the process. Until what exactly the inventory control here and why it is required? That to taking place the production activity here, right? Inventory control system. Inventory control. Very simple to say that at right time need to produce the product. Right time produce the product. Need to deliver for a right place and right process. Right process. You are going to adopting here. Right. So that is inventory management or inventory control techniques. There are multiple techniques you are going to study here. So before that, there are level of stocks. Level of stocks. What exactly the level of stocks you need to maintain? So before taking place into production activity, they are called as minimum inventory level you have to maintain in warehouse. Inventory level. Maximum inventory level you have to maintain at which situation? And reorder level need to maintain at which situation, right? And there are situation buffer stock you need to maintain at your warehouse. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ರಿಆರ್ಡರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, and buffer stock ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು. If you observe the previous paper, they were asked many questions on this techniques of inventory control, right? Danger level, that is also ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Danger level is a techniques of inventory controls ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. Danger level, maintaining the inventory, and average level, the multiple level of stock maintenance. That is of levels of stock maintenance. Levels of stock maintenance. And when it comes to techniques of inventory control, there are multiple techniques you are going to study here, right? How ತರ techniques ಅನ್ನು observe ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? We can say that ABC technique, ABC analysis, called as always better control. Right? Always better control, ABC. Maybe they will ask for an explanation. You can say that full form of ABC. It's a single word, right? EOQ, economic order quantity. Economic order quantity. Formula EOQ is equal to 2AS by C. Right? ಇದು ಕೂಡ EOQ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. And even they were asked about what exactly the formula. Right? There is a chances this kind of questions maybe you are going to analyze it. Right? And you can say that what is SDE analysis? ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. SDE, there are multiple techniques. VED analysis, VED analysis. We say that if you go through that everything, right? SDE and we can say that scarce, desired, essential. VED, vital, essential, desirable. You are to maintain that kind of techniques of inventorying the stocks, right? And golf analysis is one of the inventory control system. Can say that government, open market, local, and even final market and theory. And JIT is one of the concept here. JIT, just in time. And in your syllabus is given two-bin system. Two-bin system. Another entire module bandaga discuss ಮಾಡೋಣ. Right? Two-bin system. And MRP ಅಂದ್ರೆ you're not assuming like that, right? It's like when it comes to inventory, MRP, material requirement planning. Material requirement planning, right? FSN, fast, slow, non-moving. Fast, slow, non-moving. This kind of now the questions maybe you're going to be now asking the examination called as techniques of inventory control. You may expect like this one, right? Minimum level ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. there is a formula, ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಮಿನಿಮಮ್, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ the level of inventory and even reorder level for this everything. So adu kuda ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ when it comes to a module, right? And another concept it is given here, that is about what exactly that waste management. Right? We already know that waste and reno, scrap and reno ante. Waste and reno, you can say that need to reduce the losses occur that during handling and storage of the material and production process, that is waste ante ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Waste management. And what exactly the things? So waste management process ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ waste management ಅಲ್ಲಿ. And when it comes to DGS and D, the last concept here, DGS and D ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. What exactly that? DGS and D. So one of the agency called as Directorate General of Supply and Disposal. Directorate General of Supply and Disposal. This is Directorate General of Supply and Disposal until DGS and D. Disposal, which comes under which ministry? Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Government of India, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, DGS and D, Directorate General of Supply and Disposal, which comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, right? It's one of the central purchase and quality assurance organization. This DGS is about a central purchase a quality assurance organization. They may ask you like that. What is DGS? Right? Expansion kelbodo, or which comes under what? Or which is related to what? Central purchase and quality assurance organizations. They may ask you like this one. Very simple concept on DGS. And under the DGS only, you may find out one is the concept GEM. GEM. GEM on the GEM. Nothing but what exactly that? The government e-marketplace. It is one of the website, a platform facilitated by the government of India to procure the raw material from the various vendors. So all the public and private vendors were registered under the platforms called as the government e-marketplace, right? So whenever the producer so willing to purchase a multiple components or material, raw material from the website at a subsidy rate level, they may contact GEM portal contact ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ they can able to contact a multiple vendor in a single platforms. Single platforms ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು find out ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. You can able to purchase at a very minimum cost. It is facilitated by the government of India under the Commerce and Ministry of Commerce and Industry, right? GEM portal. So that is about entire discussion on the orientation program on production and material management, right? Production and material management. If you observe the previous paper on this subject, if you are having any paper, you can just refer it. So what are the questions they were asked you in the previous paper? There are more than 10 questions were asked in the 2016-17 paper and even the 2020 paper, right? Regarding the production and material management. First questions, the last year paper, if you observe that, if you just refer it, when you go for a previous year paper, what is buffer stock? The first question they were asked you in the last year questions. Buffer stock, they given a multiple choices on the paper. So thereby you are going to select a one single answer here. What is buffer stock? Nothing but a buffer stock is dash. If you analyze it, it's a minimum stock level below which actual stock should not fall. Minimum stock level below which, first question they were asked here on a POM, production material management, what is buffer stock? The previous year. Nothing but a minimum stock level below which actual stock should not fall, also called as safety stock. Safety stock ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. The minimum stock level which actual stock should not fall, also called as safety stock. You need to maintain in the inventory. And second question, if you observe the previous paper, you'll come to know that an automobile service unit uses which costing method? Automobile service unit. Automobile service unit, you know that what exactly automobile? It's a repair shop. Repair shop on that. Which uses costing method called as batch costing. They are given multiple costing, batch, job, there are multiple. Right? You know the correct answer, maybe you can able to mark out. Third one, they were asked here, identify a new principle of total quality management. This is one of the questions they were asked in the previous year. Identify new principles. If you know the entire principles of total quality management, definitely you can able to mark out it. That's why you cannot. Here, they given a three wrong principles. One is the correct one. that is quality can be improved by inspection. That is a new. Identify new principles of TQM, new principles of total quality management. Nothing but a which principle added here? Quality can be improved by inspection. Nothing but a, you know very well, quality can be improved by inspection. Quality can be inspection. That is also asked here, inspections. Fourth question they were asked in the same paper. As I said that intermittent process facilities have which of the following? Intermittent process facilities have which of the following? They given a multiple answer here, but you need to choose a single one. That is, intermittent process facilities have high variable cost, low utilization of the services. Intermittent process. The beginning, as I said that the types of production management, that is only intermittent process have which? Nothing but the answer is high variable cost, low utilization of the services. Variable cost will be high, low utilization of the services. Intermittent, we can already said that what exactly intermittent. Frequently you are going to producing, depends on the order received from the customers. Whenever the order received, then only you are going to start the production process. Right? That I already discussed what exactly. Give an idea about that. Simple idea. Fifth one, they were also ask you the existence of complementary industry is favorable because existence of complementary industry is favorable because an industrial unit in collaboration with the other similar units. The following are the favorable for industry something. Adu kuda one of the questions. Yavadu favorable irutte anta. Nothing but a complementary industry is favorable because an industrial unit in collaboration with other similar unit can secure the entire system. That is also one of the questions. And they were asked you one of the questions. Wilfredo Pareto belongs, he has explained which of the analysis, inventory control analysis, right? Wilfredo Pareto, one of the economists and sociologist, was given a Wilfredo Pareto. Yes, 80-20 ratio. 80-20 ratio. That is about ABC techniques, ABC analysis. He has given explanation about ABC analysis. Wilfredo Pareto. 80% of the total output is generated. 20% of the valuable efforts. Right? We need to put 20% of the valuable efforts for producing 80% of the output. Right? ABC. And another questions about minimum stock level. I said when given when I was discussing about the order level, minimum stock level ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. That is about a formula, brother kuda. That is maybe they were asking the formula only. Reorder level minus normal consumption into normal reorder period. Reorder level minus normal consumption of material into normal reorder period. Normal reorder period. Is one of the formula they were asking about minimum stock level. And another questions they were asking you in the previous paper, which of the following is not an objective of ideal plant layout? What is it? Plant layout ಬಗ್ಗೆ objectives ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ you can able to mark out here. Here they were asking about which is not about the objectives of plant layout. Which of the following is not about objectives of ideal plant layout? There are multiple given. The answer is the maximization of the production delay. Maximization of the production delay is not objective of plant layout. Andre ಏನರ್ಥ? we need to reduce the production delay, right? Next one, straight line layout, also called as what? Straight line layout. Straight line layout, also called as, idu kuda belongs to plant layout only, right? Also called as product layout. If you know about the multiple names, definitely you can able to mark out here. Straight line layout, also called as product layout. They are given multiple name. Process layout, ಏನೇನೋ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, right? If you know about the correct answer, straight line layout, also called as product layout. Next, last one, the objectives of the reorder level. Objectives of the reorder level. What purpose you need to use this reorder level? To ensure that fresh supply of the material is obtained before the minimum level is reached. To ensure fresh supply of the material obtained before minimum level reached. Fresh supply of the material obtained to the minimum level reached. The artha you know, when the minimum level reach, nothing but in the production process, when the minimum level comes to reach out, we need to supply the fresh supply of the material to the production process system. Huh? ROQ. Reorder. Yes, that is will be discussed in the entire in the chapter wise. Already given a few concepts here. So what I'm telling that there are few questions relevant to the reorder level and the techniques of inventory control and even the plant layout, right? A few of the multiple concepts, very important concepts will be asked in the same module here. That is given a complete idea about the the production and material management and the what exactly the questions will be asked in the examinations, and the previous year papers will be having a discussion. It's over, I think so, right? If any now clarity required, say that any conditions, suggestions, something you may ask in the given 5 minutes time. After that, I'll continue the economic environment also. I've given a clear picture, not about entire discussions. You can say that the syllabus orientations. Tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to completing this orientation session. So the economic environment. So I'm going to be engaged for tomorrow orientations, right? At the same time, 6:30 p.m. If any doubt, you may comment. Yes, Manjunath Angadi was asking you the questions like, how many questions can we expect from this subject? Maybe we can expect 10 to 15 questions. I can say that when we are going to analyze the previous year paper, right? There are 7 or 8 questions maybe given in the 2020 and even the 17 paper, 3 to 4 questions were asked. So we cannot able to expect like that. So every subject will be considered as important, right? When the syllabus is given, the entire the gazette notifications, you need to study entire module itself, even a single concept. You cannot able to predict which questions might be asked. Other predict models are there. We cannot, but we can say that maybe for 10 to 15 questions, right? If they ask 10 questions, maybe 10 into 3, 30 marks will be for yours, right? Yes, we need maybe. That's it. Yeah. So I'm going to wind up my session for today. Thank you all.